Alrighty, hello math students, Mr. Zacek here. We are on to 14.2 day 2. We're talking about basic probability. And probability is the study of chance. And we have two vocabulary words that we're going to look at today. We're going to look at empirical probability versus theoretical probability. And experiments are performed and data is kept. So when you have empirical, you're looking at actual tests that have been done. And theoretical is when we haven't actually done it, but we're just using a formula which to give us the final results. So we have a couple of terms here as we look at this. The first is outcome. And rolling a die, 1 is an outcome, 2 is an outcome, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 possible outcomes. And the sample space represents the possible outcomes. So what is the sample space? Well, for rolling a die, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. That would be the sample space. Flipping a coin, it could be heads or tails. And then the event is a specific type of thing, like the event of rolling a number greater than 4. That's what we're looking at. So we do the probability of an event. And that's the notation that capital P stands for probability. Probability. All right, so when we do this, we're usually looking at a fair object, which means each outcome is equally as likely. So like, for example, if you have a fair coin, it's equally likely to be heads, equally likely to be tails. Okay, I'm back. Had to plug the computer in. All right, so theoretical probability is the number of ways an event can occur divided by the number of possible options in the sample space. So the probability of an event is the number of that event options divided by all possible options. All right, so we're going to look at this spinner here. And in the spinner, we have 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's equally divided. So the probability of 1, well, there's 1 out of 4 options. The probability of a number greater than or equal to 1. Well, 1 is greater than, 2 is greater than, or 1 is equal to. But 2 is greater than, 3 is greater than, 4 is greater than. So that would be 4 out of 4, which we could reduce to be 1. The probability of an even, 2 and 4 are even, so that's 2 out of 4. Again, you could reduce that to 1/2. Probability of a 7, 7 doesn't exist here, so that's 0 out of 7. And the probability of a 1 or a 3, there's 2 of those out of 4, which would equal 1/2. So the probability has to be between 0 and 1. You can't have a probability at 2. You can't have a probability of 1.5. All right, it's always going to be between 0 and 1. If it's 0, it's never going to happen. If it's 1, it's guaranteed to happen. Okay, so let's look at some theoretical probability here. The probability of tossing a head in one toss of a coin. So, well, you have heads and tails. There's 2 options. One of them is head, so it's 1 out of 2. Rolling a 3 and 1 roll of the die. There's 1 3 out of 6 die. Rolling an even number and rolling 1 die. So you got 2, 4, and 6. There's 3 out of 6, okay, which we could reduce to 1/2. All right. And then moving along. All right, so let's, just pick a few of these. Let's do number 6. Selecting a day of the week whose name begins with the letter S. Well, we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 of them begin with S. There's 7 days in the week, so the probability is 2 out of 7. All right. How about number 9? The mail consists of 2 bills, 3 ads, and a letter. What is the probability that a bill is opened? So you're just doing it at random. So the probability of a bill equals, well, there's 2 out of 6. Okay, and again, you can reduce that to 1 out of 3. All right. So we have a whole bunch of different ones that are like it, but it's the, number of options divided by the total things. Okay. Now, sometimes we have the probability of the negation of event, the complement. So that's the probability that it isn't going to happen. And when you have that, it's 1 minus the probability that it will happen. So let's look at number 15. Find the probability that will not rain if the probability that it will rain is 3/5. So here, it's the probability that it will not rain is going to equal 1 minus 3/5. Okay, well, 1 could be written as 5 over 5 minus 3 over 5. So that means the probability is 2/5. Space is a little low. All right, so 17. Find the probability that you will not roll a 6 when you roll 1 die. So probability of not rolling a 6. Well, how many are not 6? One of them is 6. That means 5 of them are not 6. So it'd be 5 out of 6. A jar contains 4 red marbles and 6 white. Find what if one is chosen, what is the probability that it is not white? So the probability of it being not white is, how many are not white? 4 out of how many altogether? 10. That reduced to 2/5. Okay, so you can, just do a little subtraction together. They have to add up to be 1. All right, well, hopefully that will give you some more clarity on that as we're moving through this unit on probability. All righty, goodbye.